So guys, welcome to That's the Angle. This time I am with Vivienne, aka Loko.Chanel, and it's really ironic because the first time I ever met you, she gave me these like really epic business cards, but really they're matches on the inside. But what was actually really funny is, hold up, I still have the one that you gave me.
Oh, so you have the black one.
Yeah, I have
so
like the OG one.
The holographic purple one.
Damn.
Yeah, I just made new ones too that are like blue, like a blue foil.
Yeah, these are sick.
And then like the other new one has a graphic on it, so it has like kiss marks on it. They're evolving.
These are definitely evolving. No, you've definitely gotten me baked a bunch of times. Like the few that
good. That's the idea.
The few that I've used were like times where I'm like, shit. Where's my... And then it was like, oh, I got those matches.
Oh, I'm glad. Came to the rescue. That's the idea.
This is crucial. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna like put those... That's yeah, that is the dopest business card. But no, I met you at it was Monglin's Nike foot or shoe pop up.
Yeah, Carol's Nike like artist collab pop up.
Carol. I just want to say, do I call you Vivienne or Loko.Chanel?
Call me Vivienne.
Like I feel like we've given like in the Instagram world, like everyone has like Pokemon names, like where it's like, what do I?
Yeah, I know. No, some people have even thought that my name is Chanel, which is not true.
I legit thought that. Like I was like, her name's not Chanel. Like let me.
Yeah, no. I mean, I prefer to go by Vivienne. I feel like that is just like more of like a brand, and like it's just like a bigger thing than I am. Like, but in everyday life, like I'm Vivienne. Yeah.
Yeah, because like it's so much better to have like this sort of I don't want to say persona, but like I think anyone who like takes it seriously like has a good one.
Right, I agree. It's like when I first started out, like I even like hid my name for everything because like when you eliminate like too much like personal things into your work, like I think that really helps it, like because people are like objectively looking at your thing more, instead of like being like, oh, her name's like Vivienne or something. Like I mean I love my name, but like sometimes little things like that people might be like, oh yeah, like
yeah, I definitely agree with you. It's the great branding almost. It'd be weird if it's like, oh, because my real name's not Bruce Allen. Like, it's my middle name. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't want should I disclose this? Like, my actual name is Bruce Foot.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, way less sexy than Bruce Allen.
Right, so yeah, it's like, I mean, obviously, in, like, society, you shouldn't, like, judge people based on, like, whatever. But, like, I mean, that happens. Like,
yeah, no, 100%.
No, Bruce Allen just sounds a lot more, like,
yeah,
like, appealing to the, like,
yeah,
ears.
Bruce Allen, you might actually buy some of his prints. Bruce, but you're like, who is this dude? Like, he should have picked a better brand. But like, no, I feel like the same thing is true with you. It's a super epic brand name. Did you ever have like a weird name on MySpace back in the day? Mine was Positron Bruce. That's so random.
I did have a MySpace. I don't remember what it was called.
It's okay. Well, anyways, I'm actually curious. Where did you get the name, like Loko.Chanel or?
So, like the way I style people and do things is like it's very, like, it's a mixture of doing streetwear, grunge, punk rock, but then at the same time I'll mix in high-end designer pieces. So like when you think of like high-end luxury, like literally the epitome of it all is probably like Coco Chanel. Like for like one of the top fashion houses that you would think of. And then so I incorporated that into my name when I was trying to think of like what to use. And then I thought of like kind of like the trashiest thing that is like familiar to me like growing up, and then like I don't know why, but I thought of like Four Lokos.
I was just thinking of, like Four Lokos.
Yeah, so like it's like a mixture of like exactly what I do with my work, like mixing two things that wouldn't necessarily go together, but then making it work.
I see exactly what you're saying. You have like the trashy Loko, but then the super uber class of Chanel.
Right.
Yeah, that's such a good way to describe your style, at least from my perspective too. Like, it's cool to hear you say it, but whenever I see it, I'm like, yo, this is like some tight streetwear stuff that you'll have like a super limited edition piece that I just cannot afford. But then you mix it with something like simple and then like a choker, you know, something like that. And I was just like, oh, it's so sick.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
like, and yeah, so Loko.Chanel, that was like a very planned out like move from the get go. Like when you're getting into like styling and like was it always styling?
Yeah, I feel like that is, I mean, I guess at like one point in my life I like wanted to be a buyer, but
What exactly is a buyer? It's a dumb
so
question.
like, you work for specific companies and you buy up what you anticipate will sell in the stores basically. Like you cater to like your audience.
Okay.
And it was like a lot of like I basically like kind of helped someone out that was like a buyer for a bit, and like I realized it wasn't really me.
So you tried it in.
And then like I just realized that the best thing I do is like make people look good with like the outfit combinations that I can put together. Like I realized I had more of an eye for that than anything else.
Then like buying for a store and then predicting the trends.
Yeah,
Which
like
you already do.
Yeah, and then I'm not like necessarily like I mean, yeah, that is an aspect of like what I do, but it's not the entire thing. Like
Styling's not everything.
No, like predicting trends is it's like a big part of it, but it's like anticipating what people will buy and like the hype behind it is like a whole nother thing if that's like entirely your job, in my opinion. But
is that how you approach your styling now? Is you kind of like forecast a little bit and then style the shoot that way, or is it
only
like...
a little bit, because like when I put stuff together, the whole goal is to be like make it look different and but appealing at the same time, for it to be a fresh look and not just something that's like everyone else has already been doing. Like that's like what I can offer. So like me styling for some like a company that's very what's the word, like normal, like normie, like that wouldn't work
the normie
out.
Companies.
Yeah.
Ralph Lauren wants you to style from... Oh, this will be interesting.
Like I mean I like companies like that, like I would definitely work with. Like I would give every company a chance, but I'm just saying like that's not like what my specialty would be. Like if you're coming to me, it's gonna be more like streetwear.
If a company
like
hits you up and they're like, Vivienne, I almost said Chanel. I was like Vivienne want to work with you. You're like, okay, but these are my aesthetics. Like, this is definitely what's going to happen.
Yeah, to a certain extent, because, like, a big part of being a good stylist is, like, making sure that your client is happy. And then you can't inject your own, like, personal style or what you prefer into it. Like, you always have to make your client feel comfortable and they like what they wear, so that shows on the shoot.
Yeah, that's always, like, an interesting thing, I think, as creatives, that always is like a struggle when a client is especially paying you to like a collab stuff. You're like, you know, you can flex and really get really crazy with it, but when it gets to that point of like, oh yeah, here's like a bunch of money for this project, sometimes I find myself getting a little hesitant to really sort of like flex or try something different. I almost find myself catering to a little bit of like what feels a little safer. Do you find yourself doing that, or are you just like, hell nah, we're gonna throw four chokers on her and wrap her in an off-white belt? Like, what's...
Well, no, I mean, yeah, when you go with like someone you know that will like what you do typically, like, I mean, yeah, that's the safer route, and that would obviously be ideal.
Yeah.
But I think elevating yourself beyond that and being very objective but doing it well is like a whole nother thing, which is like what I always strive to be. But you know, at times it's difficult because you know what you're good at.
This is so random, and it just popped to my head. What was that case you're posting about on your story the other day with that client who was trying to get you to style a shoot about that girl that looked like different ethnicities?
Oh, yeah.
Is that okay to talk about?
Yeah, no, at first I thought I was being trolled, like, completely honest.
Really?
Like, yeah, no, like,
like a spam guy from India?
I was like, is someone, like, just, like, messing around with me right now?
Can you describe for people who don't know, like, describe the situation?
Yeah, so I All right, so did I get it through my email? Yes. So on my site, there's like a link you can click to contact me through email, request me for bookings and whatnot. So I got an email through my website, and he was basically requesting me to style this girl. And I was like, okay, sure. Like the initial conversation was just like, can you style this girl for this date? And then I responded, and I was like, I can't this date, but I can this date. Like, can I see her like Instagram or her like profile or like any headshots? Also, I need like measurements. Like I got right into it. Like I was like, yeah, sure. Just like I need info.
This is a gig. Give me the info. Let's do it. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, what are you looking for exactly? Like, what do you want me? How many outfits? Like, let me know, and then I can let you know my rate. So then he responds, and everything was fine, and it was just like basically like I guess they were trying to build up her portfolio. So it was like she would have like some underwear shots, like very neutral like underwear shots, and then like some like dresses.
Do you know who it
swimwear.
was?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Some swimwear, and then it got to the section where it was like we also want to what was the word? Like he was like, we want to show her ethnicity range, and then it was like listing. He was like, yeah, so we want to do like an Eskimo Alaskan look where she's wearing like a puffy jacket, and then the other one was like an Asian aesthetic, like where she's like we're in a kimono and like buns or something, and then there was one where she was Hispanic and she would wear like I guess like a peasant kind of top. Like frilly, I don't know. I think I think that's what I remember him saying. And then he said, yeah, and then lastly, like Middle Eastern with a hijab, and I was like,
so he wanted you to make this girl look like 4 different ethnicities, cultures. Mm-hmm. Was it
like, but very like stereotypically? And then I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
And so like I like had to think about it, and I was just like, okay, I was like, maybe I'm like misunderstanding him. So I responded like really professionally, and I left it very open and like very neutral, and I was just like, can you explain to me more about like the ethnicity range? Like I don't quite understand.
You're like, I'm hoping this isn't something bad.
Yeah, so then like he responds, I think it's a he. He responds, and then he says that it just basically confirmed what I thought he meant. That they were literally trying to make this girl look different ethnicities so that she can appeal to like a broader like audience. And then so then I asked my other stylist friends, and I was like, does this happen to you like often? Like I especially asked my friends that were working like for like corporate companies, like I don't know, maybe it happens to them, like because I just freelance, so I don't really come across that. I never have. So
random.
So like I was like, is this typical? Like even if it was typical, I'm gonna say no either way. It doesn't matter.
Oh, you knew you were gonna say no already.
Yeah. So then, anyways, like my friends were like, no, I mean, like it happens, but no. And I feel like it would happen more with like acting. I would say per se,
that's
like
what I was
not
thinking.
like model, but maybe I don't know. Anyways, my friend said no. Basically, it doesn't really happen. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna just politely decline, and like that's it. So then I responded, and I just said that I don't feel like I can do this shoot because I don't think I could properly, like, first of all, it's not really adding anything creatively to my profile, like portfolio.
He just wanted you to sort of follow this stereotypical trend of like, making her look stereotypically Asian.
Yeah, no, that literally helps me with nothing, and like even if it was paid, but it was like it didn't matter that much to me. It didn't sit well with me, so I just
feel like you were like appropriating. Is that what it was? Is that like the word? I feel like you were sort of like being a part of something. Like okay, like let's make her look like an Eskimo. Like a big puffy jacket, like it's like, oh, you're almost making fun of it in a way or something.
No, it was just like very like it was like ignorant in a sense because it's just stereotyping what certain ethnicities should look like or like would look like, but everyone looks so differently. There's such a wide range. It doesn't make sense. And then and yeah, I mean she would be essentially like appropriating other cultures, but
that's a tough one. When I saw that, I wasn't sure. My first initial thought was, I don't know. Maybe I'm like not missing information, or maybe I'm missing information. But my second part was like, how big's the check? That was the dark side of me. I'm like, okay, like how big's the check? And just ask that no one says you did this project. Like you know, like was that a thought at all, or you were just like you have like extreme like standards of like no, I don't want to be associated with
because
that.
like if you think about it, it's like why would I turn this model into a different ethnicity when there's another girl who's Asian or Middle Eastern, or
who could just fill that role.
Who could literally would love to fill that role. Like, that makes no sense. There's, like, real girls out there that fit that.
Yeah, and it was her modeling portfolio, not, like, an actress.
Yeah, but either way, they shouldn't do that anyways, even with acting. Because there's so many talented people out there that would love to fill that role, but then they choose not to because, you know, they want to just like use the same actors and actresses they've been using, or like
I can't say I've ever like had a situation like okay, we need a black girl because your company is for like African American people, and I don't know why I just said black and African American, like I felt guilty in that 2 seconds. God, this culture is so PC. But yeah, it's like you just get that race. You got to be frank and like, okay, get an Asian girl, get a white girl, get a black girl, get an Eskimo girl,
Alaskan girl.
Oh, yeah, Eskin. I don't know what that is. That's crazy. So do you, that definitely can't happen. All that's super, super weird. But when people like hit you up for styling, what's your approach? Because it's, you know, in case anyone's wondering, this is a photography-centered podcast, and I'll ask about that eventually. But you're so tied into the photography world. Like, what you do is you make our stuff way better, and we help you likewise. Like, whether it's... Like, you're such a crucial part of what a photographer and a fashion shoot and everything is. And if there was, like, an octopus tentacle, it's, like, makeup, stylist, hair, like, everything. So, like, what I always wonder is, let's say it was, I don't know, is there like a company you recently worked for, if I could use for an example? I'm just curious, like, how a stylist approaches like a shoot. Like, are you actually buying these pieces? Like, how...
No, so it depends. So
like, walk me through it. I'm so curious.
Yeah, so like there could be like a company like your friends, for example, right, that want to use me. So they would give me pieces that they want me to use, and then I can... It depends on the company. Some companies are very strict, like, only use our pieces. Like, so then I just use with what they have and they give me, and I might throw in, like, some accessories, like, very plain, neutral, like, no logo.
You can't have it, like, take over what
right,
they
like,
have.
no logo, like, no other logos, basically, no other branding. And so then, like, so that's one way, like, where they have the clothes, they know exactly what they want you to use, and then that's what you do. And then other companies are more, if it's like a more, if they don't have as many pieces, they'll probably ask you to supplement or like pull from other places, like to add to that.
Yeah.
So companies that don't have many pieces and maybe just have like a range of like t-shirts, they'll be okay. So it can go either way. They'll be okay with only their logo in it, or they'll be okay with like other logos items in it.
Yeah.
So it depends. If it's like, you know, no logo, then you're more like you have to do more minimal looks. And then like if it's logo, then it's like you can use like, in most of the time it's like more like hype companies that want to drive up their hype by incorporating like their t-shirts with like other
is that actually how they say it to you too? Like, we want hype?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, they tell me like they want like sometimes they can tell me they want like a hype piece look.
Just being frank, yeah. It's just the frankness of it all.
Yeah. So those are two ways that can go, and if they need me to pull stuff, so then like I have
yeah, that's the crazy part to me, because you operate on such a high fashion tip, like just off of everything I see from you. It's like a high fashion. I always am like, how do you pull these? Like, what's the process? I know it's like there's no way it makes sense that you're buying these things. Like,
yeah, so like it depends. So like I have friends like that are able to like let me just kind of like borrow stuff.
Connects.
And then so it's just a lot knowing, for me at least, it was just knowing a lot of people that would be able to like let me borrow some stuff and then maybe slip it back. and like that's it. Or like sometimes they would want the company advertised for like supplementing pieces, and sometimes not. So it's like just basically knowing people where you can pull items from. Like I've known people that do like vintage thrift, and I'll pull some items and borrow from them, which is like really easy and fun. There's like a lot of variety. And then I know people that work for like bigger companies where it's more like just as a favor.
How long have you been doing this? Like, that's the person I should ask earlier. How long have you been in this whole styling game?
So I would say that I started fairly recently. I only started like pushing and like gaining traction maybe like a year and a half, I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny you said that, because what comes into my head was when I was talking to Mark Illist, the past interview. You guys should check that out. I'll link that in the description or afterwards. That's like why I'm having you here, because I asked him, I was like, so Mark, tell me about like where you started, and you came up. He was like, yeah, Vivienne, she started styling, and I shot it, and it seems very like definitive of his style. So was that kind of where it started?
He was definitely one of the first photographers I worked with, actually. He actually originally asked me to model, and I was like, I'm not really like a model. And I was like, how about I do this for you instead, and we'll see how it works the first time out, because you can help build up my portfolio. I can just dress up your shoots if you're trying to move in a different direction, and then we can go from there. And so that's basically what happened. And yeah, it did start with Mark. He helped my portfolio build a lot, basically. And then we've both been so busy lately. So
like busy doing what you do, like the styling
well,
and stuff?
For me, I've been traveling a lot. So I've just been really busy since I'm freelance, like I don't always work, and so I haven't been.
I feel you on
and
that.
I've just been busy. I think like the last thing I did was like towards the end of summer with like the Playboy Hypebae thing.
Dang, that's cool.
So
where'd you just travel to?
I went to Bali for my birthday, and then I feel like I've been on like a never-ending trip since I got back, because like after that it was like Hong Kong, and then like I think I came back and I went to like New York like twice, and then
Jesus.
I went to Kansas City like to see my cousin. Like,
yeah, watching your stories and stuff, I'm always like, what is she I'm always just
my friends are like very confused as to when I'm back and when I'm not, because like I'll literally be in Kansas City like one minute, and the next thing I like geotag like, oh, I'm back in DC.
Yeah, like I'll look at one day and you're like in like a rose petal bath, like with this amazing view, and I'm like, what is this? And the next day you're like, New York, bitches. I'm like, what? And you're at like some like Off-White event, and I'm just like, what? I just saw that on Hypebeast this morning. How does she already have this shit? Like, this is not fair.
Yeah.
Are you just traveling just for like fun and stuff, just like
explore? Yeah, it's always fun like meeting back up with friends and like just reconnecting and meeting new friends. So
yeah, traveling's cool. I feel like every time I travel, I like learn something about myself, or like I have like a different approach on the world. Like my mind opens a little bit. Like I'll never forget when I came back from France, and we did like a little bit of Spain and stuff, which was like the only time I ever traveled abroad. I felt like a different person.
Right.
Like I definitely, there's like a switch in my mind that went like this, and I like was like, I want to go back and start a business, or like I want to do something to make myself happy. The world's a lot bigger than I think it is.
Right. Yeah. You get inspired, basically.
Yeah, it's just weird moment. Just going to those crazy places, like you said, where'd you go? That like the rose petal bath. Where was that?
Bali.
Like, was that nuts for you? Like, does that inspire your styling at all, or?
It was like it definitely was more of like well, no, I was so busy the whole time because I don't feel like I was there for long enough, so we were busy doing things all the time. Bali's like, there's so many things to do, I feel like. I actually like super fell in love with the place. I want to go back and like live there for a few months.
Bali, okay, this is a dumb question. Indonesia.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm geographically retarded. Like I am so bad with this sorts of things.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Going shopping was probably my most favorite thing.
What's that like in a place like Indonesia?
I mean, you go to like, you go to like marketplaces, and it's a lot of like bartering, so it's like that's fun. So yeah. Like
open air markets, and the dude's like, I'll sell you this, I'll sell you this. A lot of, oh, there's your belt, or there's your that's 100% real
Yeah.
sort of thing.
So like what I saw was like I think this past summer they were doing a lot of like basket purses, bags, handbags.
It's a basket purse bag.
It's like very it looks like a basket basically.
Like a
It's like wicker
like
material.
an Easter. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like an Easter basket.
Yes, but it's like they would use, you know, like the same wicker and make a bag out of it, but more intricate. So
Mhm.
like that was like a huge I feel like that was a huge trend this past summer. And like when I went over to Bali, they had a whole bunch of those, but they were like $15 each or something instead of like versus I think those bags were probably selling for like 200 upwards.
So you're saying that was like an American trend, or just like a trend?
Probably
trend,
an American trend.
And then it like trickled down that fast.
No, I think that the bags that they have in Bali, like they've always been there. Yeah. If anything, we probably stole that idea.
Yeah, I always wonder that. It's like we always feel like America's like the trend capital, and that like everyone else is bootlegging our stuff.
Yeah, no, I think it's the other way around. I think like they've always worn like basket purses.
So where do you look for like your styling inspirations? Are you looking like overseas? Are you staying in America's designers? Like where?
No, like I mean, Instagram is probably like the best place to look for style inspo.
Facts, big facts.
Yeah, like so, and that comes from everywhere in the world. Doesn't matter where you are. I think that's one of the coolest things about Instagram. It doesn't matter where you are, you can still relate through that common interest of like being interested in fashion.
Yeah, I think so too. I was just curious, like if maybe you were like looking towards some like obscure French street fashion movement that's like killing it with their like chains and their choker style, or you're looking at like
I feel like those are like I feel like those types of things are like designers where they like go on their like annual trip somewhere and they come back and they're like, I'm so inspired. And like, no.
the guy from Gucci, guys, I'm so inspired.
Yeah.
We need to create right now.
Yeah.
Denim jackets with heads on them everywhere.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to knock them, but like I'm not like a designer.
Yeah.
Even if I were to ever make clothes, it would just be like t-shirts or something like very streetwear.
Would you? Is that something that like crossed your mind? Because like stuff like this is very design aesthetic, dude. Like this is legit.
Yeah, so like super low key. I've been working on like a few pieces like here and there.
Is this one of them?
No.
Okay.
This is a big streetwear brand.
Which one?
Cactus Plant Flea Market.
I've never heard of them. How can you say they're big if a basic guy like me has never heard of them?
Okay, maybe not as big.
Okay. Should I know about them?
I mean, yeah.
Cactus
They're
Plant Flea Market. New York based?
No, I'm not 100%.
What is it? It's a smiley face with two eyeballs. And what's it say on the bottom?
WWCD.
What would Christ do? What does that say?
No. What WWCD? I don't know.
I don't know. It's a cool shirt though. I dig it. I was like, it almost looks like you made it, but here I am. It's like a cool street brand. Okay, no. So tell me more about what you're doing, but like your designs.
So, yeah, I've just been making a few pieces on my own, here and there, and I mean, there's no set date. I'm just kind of playing around with it on the side. And then I do know that if I were to ever kind of like do anything with it, I wanted to do a huge like fun installation, party.
That seems like the wave these days.
Yeah.
Whenever you drop something, it has to be.
But like, have you seen like the pop-ups
No,
here, like
can
in
you tell
DC?
me more? Oh wait, in DC?
Yeah.
Why? What about them?
No, they're just like not.
They
great.
are. They're like. I
think they're very like. I think they're very like minimal effort.
So can you give me some like a cool one you went to? Like what does that look like?
A cool one I went to? Like anywhere, like here or
anywhere?
Like
like the one that you're thinking of is like, okay, I want to do something like that. Like if I ever dropped a line.
But like if I were to ever do one, I would do it like super big, like any of the normal like bigger brands would do. Like I would put that much effort into it for it to be a fun like immersive like party for everyone. Like why just do something like where you're just kind of like, oh, I'm just gonna like maybe throw up my like little logo in like the window and like call it a day.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw up my banner, and then I'm gonna have like 2 racks in the middle of your store. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
Like
So
pop up.
yeah, I'm not like I'm not trying to like knock on it, but it's just like I know me. If I were to do something, I put like 100% into it. So like I'm gonna make it like super awesome. Try to be on par with everyone that I think is great.
Yeah, it's like no shade, but y'all are not doing it big enough. It's like I get exactly what you're saying. It's not just oh, I designed some shirts. Hey guys, come out to my pop up. There's a banner on the window. It's like no, the whole place is mine. Like it's like an art event. You're gonna be flicking up. Like it's like a party. You're not just.
Yeah.
It's a trend I see with a lot of fashion and art and photography these days, where it can't
There's
just
a pop up for everything.
Yeah, everyone's popping up, and everyone is like has their own line of shirts. Like literally before this, some guy was, "Hey man, I'm doing this fashion thing, blah blah blah. Can you like what space is?" I'm like, dude, I don't know, man.
Like I don't mind people starting their own company, and like that's that's the essence of streetwear. Like just anyone can do it. Anyone can start something.
You don't think that's a problem to some extent? Like the barrier entry to printing on a t-shirt is so low that it lets...
It is, but I mean, I trust in people for the most part to be able to recognize something good and something bad. Something kind of crappy.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If I saw that shirt, I wouldn't know. I'd be like, oh, that's cool. But I'm like, it looks like you just spray painted or something. Like...
Yeah, I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, yeah, I guess it's oversaturated. But I guess I don't knock on anyone trying it because you never know who's really going to be good at it. Like...
So you think like there's like a random dude who works like a 9 to 5 could just...
who knows? He could literally be poring over, like, he could just be, like, the most fashion-savvy dude. He could have the craziest ideas that, like, he doesn't talk about to anyone. And, like, I'm not going to knock his chance not to try. Like, do it. Put it out. If it's dope, it's going to catch, like, some traction. If it's not, it's not. Yeah,
I'm just being such devil's advocate right now because, like, some part of me, because I don't know you that well. We've met a few times, but... I was just curious. Is there like an elite, like a elitism to like high streetwear, like your styling?
No, I am like the most. Maybe there is, but I am the most like. I feel like I'm the most like chill. Like, I believe everyone should have the opportunity to do what they like.
No, big facts. I agree with that too. I think everyone should try something, and I can't guarantee you, but hey, if you try it and you like it, then more power to you.
Yeah.
To each their own.
Yeah.
So I have this weird theory. Tell me what you think about this. Like. Now that thrifting and vintage is in, and now that...
Was it ever out?
Well, yeah, it was out.
Really?
You're telling that when we... Okay, I don't mean to ask your age, but I'm like 28. Are you close to then?
Yeah,
okay.
But like, I mean, it's like, all right, maybe I was weird because I always thrifted a whole bunch of stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess like thrifting was like cool. It was like cool, like fun things I do growing up, but I feel like people having hustles and businesses and like... You guys can't see it, but on this side of my studio, there's an entire men's boutique of thrift. But like, I feel like that wasn't a thing when we were in high school. Like, it was like cool to be like cheap because we didn't have any money. We'd go thrifting. But I feel like the hustle and just the cool factor, like our celebrities weren't wearing thrifted gear. But anyways, here's my crazy like theory real quick. Because thrifting and all that is like so cool now, and we're just kind of grabbing from the past. Maybe there's some weird point where we just run out of Guess striped shirts, or like maybe there's some like weird point where like all the '90s Tommy is gone, but then like 5-10 years from this date, we're gonna be left with all of these clothing companies that made shirts and died off because of how easy it was to make shirts. Like we're gonna be left with these designers who just died on a thrift rack, and like maybe it was like super cool or it was like super lame then, but now 5 years later when they don't even exist, it's like, yo, this is so dope. Like it's just like this, like now it's like this crazy like self Aurora Boris economy.
Yeah, no, I mean that's how fashion works in general. Everything repeats every like 20 years.
So I'm not a genius.
No,
dang, I thought I was onto something.
Everything repeats for sure.
Okay, yeah. Dang, I thought that was really cool.
I mean, do you remember fairly, fairly recently, like the tattoo chokers came back, and that happened when I was younger.
They did.
So like, things repeat for sure.
That was a Britney Spears thing to me. Am I wrong? Like, was that not Britney Spears who made that cool?
That was a time period when it came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was just like...
But yeah, no, it's just like with fashion, like, everything's already basically been created. There's not anything really new. It's just you gotta wait long enough for people to forget about it and then bring it back, and then it seems new.
It's like people bring it back and they tweak it just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like that Virgil Abloh thing where he says he only tweaks things like 10 degrees of its original form. I think that's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
But,
so it's, it's basically you just gotta let people forget, and then you can bring it back.
Nice. So I always forget to ask people basic questions about themselves, so I'm gonna ask them before we forget.
Okay.
Were you always like stylish? Like, was that always a part of your life, or was
I
it
wouldn't
just, like...
say I was always stylish, but I always tried to be.
Okay.
Like I was always interested in fashion at a young age. I used to go to schools where I could only wear uniforms. So I would always try to add things like accessorize to make myself look, in my opinion, better. Like I had schools where I could only wear collared shirts and like the very typical uniform, and
tuck your shirt in.
Yeah.
Make sure you have
with
a belt.
Your skirt. Yeah.
Oh, it was,
and
yeah,
like I would add like pins like all up and down my collar because I was like, this just makes it look better.
Did you get in trouble for that too?
If I added enough pins, yes. If I was going for like a very punk rock, like fill up my collar with pin, yes. But if I just added like one or two, it was like fine. Yeah, like, and I remember in middle school, middle school, there was like a rumor going around that my dad would fly me, like, so I lived in this really small town in California at one point.
Okay.
And then, like, there was a rumor going around that every weekend my dad would fly me via helicopter down to, like, LA to go shopping.
So you were Loko.Chanel back then, too.
No,
Jesus, because now you're just...
But it wasn't true.
Now it's true, though.
No, but it wasn't even true. Like, when I heard that, I was like... What?
That is the coolest rumor ever.
No, but like, I mean, we would go down there, but we would go down by car.
Oh.
But I mean, we didn't go that often. So, but it's just funny how that rumor like morphed into that.
Wait, where did they think you were going again?
LA.
So you were actually going to LA though?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's crazy. So you grew up in California?
Yeah.
What part?
So my dad was in the Navy, so we were at the naval bases mainly. So one is like in Oceanside near San Diego.
Okay.
And then the other one was more like middle northern. It was this really, really small town called Lemoore.
Lemoore.
Yeah.
Okay. That's sweet. And so you went to private school or like your whole life until...
No, it was just policy over there to wear only uniform, even if it's public.
The public school's policy was uniform?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm trying
crazy.
to think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was in I wasn't in private school.
So you were in uniformed schools all the way through high school?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. But that's such a cool rumor that they thought your dad was doing that.
Yeah.
And that's just because you always had like the newest pins, or like you were just stylish?
No,
or what
like I mean, I would buy collared shirts that weren't. So like you can buy collared shirts like at your your very basic like navy, white, like burgundy, like you can buy them at any store. But I would go find collared shirts that were like not like that, but still were within like the rules.
Oh, like just barely within the rules.
Yeah, so it's like it always came in like different colors. There's like little logos here, so like it was always like a little different.
Ah, so yeah, you've always had it in you. You were like always stunting with the clothes, I guess, at some point. And
no, in high school, I think I went through some like weird ranges for sure.
Oh no.
I was a scene kid for a while.
Me too.
Yeah, so that's where like all the grunge, like punk, like influences come from, and why I'm always naturally drawn to it more.
What was your level of scene kid? Describe you at your scene kid.
My most scene moment.
Your most scene moment.
My most favorite band was Chiodos.
Big facts. That is the most scene band you could ever like.
And I definitely had the jellyfish hair going on.
What was the jellyfish hair again?
Where it's literally like a girl mullet. Where it's like
it's like
huge
it's like poofed out.
You got like bangs right here, and then like straight thin hair below that.
Yeah. And you took the photos like.
Yes, on
MySpace.
MySpace.
Oh my god,
yeah.
yes.
I had one photo. Oh my god, it was so. I don't know. I guess maybe only really seeing people might understand. I had a photo where it was like high flash, right? I had my jellyfish hair. I was like standing. I was standing like this, and my caption was like, "Hi, I'm Jesus."
What the?
Yeah, I was like, "This is horrible."
The peak of the scene, like with like a studded belt,
Yeah.
and like what else were like the band tees?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I was very much seeing
It was like
too.
tight, short band tees.
Yes. Oh, and you went to Warped Tour, of course.
Yeah.
You had to go to Warped Tour. You were not part of the scene unless you went to Warped Tour and pretended to mosh a little bit.
Yeah. No, but it's like anytime I went to so my parents were like super strict, overbearing Asian parents. So like anytime I went to a concert or a show, like one of them would come with me.
No.
Yeah. So it's like I didn't go by myself. Like one of them was like always like somewhere.
Oh my gosh! I guess I feel lucky now.
Like I literally went to Chiodo's concert and my dad was standing in the back.
He's like, there are no penguins in Alaska. God damn it! What?
And like I remember before going, like I was like, Dad, put on a black tee. You can't wear any other color.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but it's like when I go to sometimes when I go to certain shows now, there's kids going. Like, I mean, not like anything like I grew up listening to, but if it's something newer, like I'll see parents like everywhere. And so like I'm like, I wonder if that's how it was when I was younger, but I just didn't notice, you know, because like I'm a kid, I'm just like in my own world. Like maybe there were like a ton of other parents there, and I was just always super embarrassed of mine, and because I thought it was like the only one.
I don't know. I feel like there weren't though. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
No, I feel like there weren't because like I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe I was just as oblivious. Maybe
yeah.
I was,
all right.
Because I'm trying to. Oh yeah, I made you feel so bad. I'm trying to think back, and I'm like, was my friend's dad there? I don't know. Definitely not at Warped Tour. There's no way they could have went with you to Warped Tour unless they did.
No, I mean, it's like a festival. Of course they could go.
Yeah, of course. Dude, I was the worst scene kid, dude. I had straight hair. Mm-hmm. Like, I had the front dyed. Mm-hmm. Like, I wore girl pants.
Yep.
Like, I was that guy. And the funniest part looking back on this was I was my best friend at the peak of that phase was this like really fashionable gay guy. Mm-hmm. And it was just ironic because now I'm thinking like, why would people think I'm gay? I'm like, obviously I looked really gay. Like if my parents thought I was gay, it would, I accept that now. Like not at all, but like, what were we thinking?
Yeah. So I went through that phase for a while.
Wow.
And then I went through a phase where I dressed like, think of like, very hipster girl from Brooklyn. Like at one point I thrifted every single thing I owned, and I would look almost like grandma like at times. Like
you mean
I had,
like the flannel? Like what was
like
that?
I
look?
would have like huge like glasses, and then like huge rim glasses, and then like I would buy like cardigans, like but they'd be like grandma cardigans. And then I would wear them with, like, skinny jeans and, like, some flats. And, like, it was, like, a very weird phase of my life.
I'm not aware of this phase. This was not an East Coast phase. This must have been, like, a West Coast kind of swag.
No. I was back here for high school. So I went through this in high school and here. Yeah.
Oh, wait, let's just go to the timeline. So you went to school. When did you come to...
When I started high school.
When you started high school?
Mm-hmm.
So 9th grade. And... Army or military stuff, mm-hmm. I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. Not that you got kicked out for the pins or anything, but it was like military stuff. Like that's why you guys moved.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay. And where around here did you go to school?
757. So Virginia Beach.
Oh no way.
7 cities.
That's cool. I went to school up there around ODU.
Oh okay.
Yeah. Wow, you guys had. Okay, you had some good shows out there. There's some great venues.
Definitely.
Like, you definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a good scene.
Yeah.
Like if. In Virginia here, it was pretty rough to like go to shows. I'd have to take the metro into D.C. and it was mad sketchy. But you could just go to the Virginia Beach and it was just like scene shows, hardcore shows.
Right.
Everywhere. That's so sick.
I feel like I didn't even have to go that far at times, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I lived in Chesapeake, so yeah, I know I went to a few local shows and it wasn't like that far. Yeah.
And no more dress code.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that here.
Yeah, no dress code. So yeah, that's why I was like scene looking.
Oh, and so high school was the scene into the grandma
phase. But then that was short lived, and then I went Then I met my like friends that I'm still friends with today, and they were all b-boys, and so I got very into like old school hip hop. Yeah,
That's dope.
yeah. I wore a lot of Puma suedes. Yep.
I was really hoping somewhere that you're gonna like say you had a wankster phase.
Yeah.
You
No,
had,
I mean, no. It was more like a.
the b-boy was there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really cool. So that was like, yeah, you were always stylish. That's not fair, man. I was never cool until now.
What?
Okay, I mean I was a little cool with seeing stuff, but Bruce Allen's definitely got me a lot cooler. Bruce Allen's definitely helped. And so high school, did you go to college for anything fashion related? Was that a part of your...
No. I finished college with a degree in biochem.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
nuts.
Mhm.
So is that what you do now, or are you full-time stylist?
No, so I work kind of like half and half each right now. Like right now, I actually work for a private clinic.
Oh, dope.
And then half of my other time I'm doing shoots. Yeah, or like I do have personal shopping clients as well.
That's cool.
Like where I'm their personal shopper.
Whoa,
Yeah.
please tell me about this.
So like I'll come in and I will do like a closet consultation. So like they'll basically actually we first meet up over like coffee or something, and like usually we'll talk about like what your goals are, what you hope to gain from this, like get to know you a bit. And then once I figured out what aesthetic they're going for, I come over, I do like a closet consultation. So I go through their closet, and I basically do like, you know, this is what you would need to keep, this is what you can get rid of, and then this is what we'll need.
So it's not like that scene in Queer Eye where they're like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this? Like throwing it out the window. It's just like very professional or something. Like
Yeah, no, I could not do that.
You ever get scared going through the closet? It's like, oh my god, like where's the dildo or something like that?
No,
or like where's his porn collection or something like that?
Oh my gosh, no! If I meet someone creepy, automatically I probably wouldn't schedule them for like.
Well, I mean, everyone's human. Like maybe they forgot they had it in, like the depths of their closet. Like I'm scared to go in my closet. You know?
Yeah,
like,
no, I would be like. I would be like. I mean.
Oh, excuse my foul mouth. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, so keep telling me about the.
But yeah, so we'll do a closet consultation, and then from there, I usually just take them on like 2 or 3 shopping trips and show them around DC like where to go for what they're looking for specifically. And before we go, I'll have everything pulled in their size so that when they go there, they can try everything on like seamlessly.
Whoa.
And then if they like anything, they'll buy it, and then they go home and like, you know, we can do like a follow-up appointment where like it's like, you know, can you show me how to like put things together? Can we go over that again? Or like, you know, things like that.
So
and then every once in a while if they want to like do like a refresher, like where they're like, okay, should I like put these together, like I got new stuff or whatever, they can do that too.
This sounds like a rich people thing.
Yeah.
Or like just make good money kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
Those are the best clients to have.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that you go through closets they have, and you'll take them to like Nordstrom, cool shops that you go to. I don't know where you shop. And it's just like ready for them. Just boom. That sounds so fun for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, there's like
hell.
different levels to it. Like some people want to do more like online stuff, especially now. So like you have to kind of like show them like, you know, how to, you know, where to go or where to look. So yeah,
that's pretty exciting. Is that just because people see your online presence or your brand and then they contact you or you meet them? Like how does that work?
Both. Like, I mean, yeah, some people will DM me and then like word of mouth if they like me.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Whoa. I don't know. Styling just seems like one of those fickle things that it seems really hard to get into.
How so?
I don't know. Like it just seems so like untangible. Like, do you have to have the clothes first? Like, do you have to show that you have swag first? Like, what would you say for someone who wants to be a stylist or is pursuing that sort of path? Is that like, is there anything that runs through your head about that? Like, how do you start on that path of becoming a stylist?
So like, I mean, I don't feel like I started, so like I don't feel like I started very traditionally or like in the best way. But I really feel like if someone's just starting out, they should look for internships. And since DC is so close to New York anyways, like we're only like 4 hours apart, like there's plenty of internships, plenty of like opportunities that you can have up there.
With you or like with who?
No, like with companies.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah. Like there's so many companies looking for interns like all the time. And so like through internships, you can network and you can like meet other people like and then lead to more opportunities for you.
Yeah, it's facts. Just being in the trenches will just lead you to more things as long as you're a good person.
Yeah. So I mean, but how I started is just like I had the idea that with this area, like it's not very opportunistic for creatives at all.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Um, so as far as that, like what I started out doing, I was just like, I'm gonna build up my portfolio, and then basically try to reach out to companies with my portfolio and see if like they'll want to work with me. But nowadays, like a lot of companies are looking for interns like all the time and assistants.
What is your
Yeah.
take on the whole like creative or styling scene in this area? Do you think it's worth staying around? Like, would you consider moving? Like, or I don't know. Like, I don't.
Um,
Should we all just go to New York or LA?
no, I don't think so. It's like whatever you prefer. You can make anything happen with where you are with what you have. Like it's what you make of it, honestly.
Mm,
And if your work is like quality work, it'll speak for itself, and there will be people that notice you. It doesn't matter where you are.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think quality work and all that will speak for itself eventually.
Yeah.
But some part of me does feel like I'm missing a lot of opportunities sometimes because when you're just in a place like New York with all the brands around, it
Mhm.
just seems like you'd have a lot more chance of opportunities, but there's also a lot more competition.
Mhm.
Because maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you're one of the few stylists I even know about in this area. Like you're one of the few that like I know who is kind of killing it. Like I can't think of many other people. I can think of like you. I can think of K Dot. You might know who that is.
Mhm.
I think of Yo Reef, but I can't think of like big stylists like in this area.
Yeah. Um. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah. I don't know anyone else.
You're just like working and doing your thing.
Yeah. I try to for the most part. It's I don't want to like get distracted and like by other things a lot of times. That's why I also limit my Instagram like usage. I feel
Ooh.
like if I'm on it too much and I'm looking at it too much, it all becomes sort of like the same. Like I don't really have. It's like it's good for a little bit of inspiration, but like too much of it, you start feeling like you're putting it into your own work, and it's not very new. It's
I
not
feel you
very
on that.
different. You end up doing the same thing even if it's subconsciously, because everything's so saturated now.
Yeah, or you had an idea, but then you go on Instagram and you see that idea in someone else's work, and now you're like, oh, it kind of kills it for you a little bit or something.
Yeah, or you were like, did I already like subconsciously see this and then think of this and then do it, and then it's like
Yeah,
it's not original.
It's a weird sort
Yeah.
of circle where you're just like, oh, is this good? Is it bad? I was on Instagram last night and like I felt ugly. I was like, dang, I'm so ugly. I was on the search page. I'm like, god dang, I'm so ugly. I was like, thanks Instagram. Like as soon as that thought hit me, I was like aware of that thought. I was like, okay, I gotta put this away. This is
Yeah,
terrible.
that's negative
Like this is
energy.
negative. I can only imagine how like younger kids must be dealing with that,
No,
especially
yeah.
on like a styling tip where it's easier to feel bad about what you're wearing.
Mhm.
But at the same time, because it's
Yeah.
how you rock it.
It is. I think that's a big part of it. Like it's a big part of how you wear things, how you carry yourself. Like it doesn't matter like about brands or anything like that. I've seen plenty of people put together outfits that are like fully thrifted that look better than someone that just spent like $5,000 on an outfit.
That's
You know,
so true.
like no, like I mean, it's just like you have to like have the eye for it and be creative and have fun with it. Like it doesn't matter how much you spent on it.
Yeah, there's something to be said about wearing like Louis Vuitton's Balenciaga shirt, like these jeans. It could feel like maybe soulless as to someone who put thought into making something work.
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely still use those brands and make it work, but on a like even crazier level.
Yeah.
But it's like what I'm saying is like if you don't have that kind of like creative side to you, it's not gonna work. It's gonna look like a just soulless outfit.
Like a Supreme box logo. No. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you said like you're kind of half. Do you want to eventually just be full stylist, personal shopper? Is that like an actual thing, or you just kind of like where it is?
I don't know. I'm just like kind of like living my life. Like it's like, I mean, it's really fun and like, but I don't know, like maybe eventually like I want to make, I have so many ideas in my head. It feels like a million tabs open in my head that I all eventually want to do. So it's like I'm working through them and it's like I don't know where it's going to take me, but we'll see. Like
Definitely. Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely like not a thought on the horizon where you're like, I'm gonna be trying to quit by this date.
No.
It's like, no, life's good. I'm glad I'm just killing it with the freelance for now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm still working like all the time. Like I'm still busy all the time. But where it takes me, I mean, you know, we'll see.
It's like open to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be nice having money being able to travel. But that's like a refreshing take because I feel like I do talk to a lot of people where it's like I just turned full time and like it's rough or like, you know, I'm definitely trying to get there. It's cool just to feel like, yeah, like I'd like, you know, being at a biochem lab and then I like being able to, you know, style on the side. Like that's totally cool.
Yeah, well, I don't work in a lab actually. I work for a neurosurgeon.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's cool. You ever see him like play with someone's brain and see their arms move and stuff?
So I work at his private practice and not at the hospital.
Ah, a lot less formal.
No, wait, like way more formal, I feel like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's like a really nice clinic. People fly from like all over the world. Yeah.
Wow. That's dope.
Yeah.
That's super cool. That's Jesus, Loko.Chanel. That is nuts. So what else is going on with you? Oh yeah, let's talk about the photography. This is a photography podcast. I'm just so curious about like what you do. So like tell me about like working with photographers. When you approach a shoot, like what goes through your mind and like things that you like to like what do you like to see from photographers? Is there like a bad experience to stick in your mind? Like how are you feeling when approaching it from the styling side?
So I'm very picky right off the bat when I choose who to work with. More oftentimes than not, I usually say no. Especially in this area, I feel like. But there's like, so my looks, like the photographer needs to be good with like very clean, like have an eye for clean, simple backgrounds, lighting. They should be able to do good detail shots because that's a really important aspect of.
And by detail shots, you mean like sort of like a tight shot of like a hand in a pocket or something like that? That kind of shows like the brain,
the accessories,
like the subtle details and stuff. Okay.
Yep. And like, I mean, some people can't do that. Like,
it doesn't even cross their mind.
You know, they just like, even if I point it out to get a shot like that, like they won't be able to execute it very well.
Like the framing is off or the lighting is off.
Yeah. So like, it's like I usually look through someone's profile pretty extensively before I decide yes or no. But there's a very certain like look to like doing a lookbook or like an editorial that you need to know how to do. And then plus like you have to see how their editing is too on top of that. Like some people use like weird tones. Like
some people go way too crazy with the edits.
Yeah.
Like that's gotta be frustrating from your side when it's like, bro, you just killed it. You just completely over-edited it. This guy does not need to be cyan. It's just leave this guy how it is.
Yeah.
That sense, but I guess that's the whole process of being selective and finding someone who actually looks like they could do something that matches your aesthetic.
Right,
you know, you're not going to go with a portrait photographer who's doing full-body fashion for like your Playboy collab or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's sort of like running up, like choosing that process. But how about like when you're actually shooting with them and stuff like that? Like,
so basically it's like, you know, I get them dressed and photographer starts doing their thing. I'm not overbearing. I don't really, if there's certain shots I want, I just mention it and they're usually pretty chill about it and they're like, yeah, of course. Like otherwise the most of the time I'm focusing on the model and how it looks in the photo. Like if the logo needs to show more, like if
it's like an awkward
it needs
tuck
to be if they need to be fixed a little bit so it looks, like, you know, just that perfect, non-perfect look.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm doing the whole time, adjusting and making sure it looks good.
Yeah, and as someone who's worked with stylists, like that's something that I appreciate. Like I love when a stylist like says like pause or sorry, gives me like a key, a note or something, and like just jumps in there and fixes it. Like, oh, I didn't even see that. I was so worried about my lighting, or I was so worried about the pose. Like, it's definitely interesting. Um, yeah, that's interesting from a stylist point. Have you ever had a bad experience with that? Like something that didn't work out, like something that you just utterly hate when it comes to you, like as a stylist who puts all this work into it, and that then the day of execution comes, and you're just like, oh no, he's doing that. Or I guess I'm asking for photographers who haven't worked with a stylist before. You know, I'm kind of asking for those guys who, you know, who still sort of walk around and shoot. You know, who have the model bring the clothes. I'm kind of asking for those guys because in my almost 2-year career as a photographer, I'm kind of at that point where like if my shoot isn't styled for like a big editorial, then I really don't want to do it. But that was a very nerve-wracking thing for me to cross into, like just to reach out and to feel confident enough to be like, hey, I want to work with you. I want to, you know, kind of have a complex shoot. Yeah, that was just something that just kind of graduated. That I feel like you will naturally, as a photographer, graduate to when you want more control on a tighter shot. Like, is there like tips for like you would give photographers for working with stylists or anything like that? Maybe like planning the shoot or like executing the shoot or like.
I would say make sure that make sure that you guys are on the same page with what type of aesthetic is going on, like your goal for like that shoot. Like if one person, like if I'm bringing clothes and she's looking like a tomboy, like I don't want her to be doing like super exaggerated like she's on the runway poses. Like
yeah, like the short tough look or something, and she's
right, just very like natural. Like I guess like that was my biggest gripe. Just make sure you're like on the same page with what your end goal is supposed to be. And like that way, you know, everyone's kind of like happy and you're not doing things in like different
is that through
directions.
setting up like mood boards? Is that through kind of
Mood
planning
boards help.
planning the location really
Mood boards
well?
help, definitely. I've done mood boards with some photographers. I wish there was like do you use like any apps for mood boards? Because everyone uses like Pinterest and I hate Pinterest.
I wish there was a better way to do mood boards because I hate making them in Word. Like it's just so annoying.
Usually people do Pinterest, but I hate it. Really, why? I don't know. It's like filled in with like other like cookie recipes and crap. I don't know.
Oh, you mean like no one's sending like a
No, there's a private board, but I just don't like the app in itself.
Oh, you just don't
like the website or the app in itself. Yeah.
Like you wish there was like a special app for mood boarding.
Yeah.
That's a genius idea.
I know. Like I literally thought of that, and I just like I need someone to just develop it. I need to just spout it out and like someone develop it.
What would that look like?
I don't know. I like very minimalistic things, like something cool for you to pull up where it doesn't look like so frilly. And like
it like looks borderline professional and aesthetic or something.
Yeah, and then you can make mood boards, and then it'd be even cooler if you can like if like they had like pieces you can just throw on to like a virtual model, and you could just be like, okay, this is like look 1, look 2.
Oh, you know what comes to my mind? Like it's a giant blank white background, and you could just put things on it. Like you can just maneuver it, like move around with your thumb, like and it has like objects that are like look 1, like and then with bullets, and it's super.
Yeah, it's just like the app sounds like it would take a long time because you would literally have to get every single item and catalog it into like the app and put it in. And
that's like the next thing. Like how would you just like copy and paste it?
I don't know how apps work.
Or screenshot it? I don't know. I'm not a tech guy.
Yeah, I have tech friends. Maybe I should ask them.
That'd be a genius idea.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna steal. No, I'm just kidding. I don't have time for that. I don't got time to steal ideas, man. Like, yeah, that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
That'd be sweet. It's like when I started using the whole picture delivery, like online portal. It made me feel really cool delivering that to clients. It'd be nice to have a mood board.
Yeah.
That kind of steps it up.
Yeah.
Steps it up a level.
Yeah. But yeah, mood boards help. Just communication in general helps. Maybe meeting up, even just to have coffee and talk about it,
That's a
helps.
big one.
Yeah.
You gotta vibe with the person.
You're right. Yeah. Um, yeah, those are the best things, honestly. I think like coffee and mood boards, if anything.
I agree with that. I like meeting the client or meeting the person you're gonna collab with or having some sort of
Mm-hmm.
like meeting rapport
Yeah.
before you embark on this adventure with someone.
Right.
It definitely helps a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
That's sick. So, what was the last thing you worked on? Was it the Playboy thing with Mark?
Mm-hmm.
What was that exactly?
Um, so it was Playboy is going through kind of like a revamp of their merchandise
Mm-hmm.
and kind of orienting it more to appeal to streetwear.
Okay.
But I mean, the Playboy logo has always been really popular.
It's classic.
Yeah, it's like classic. So they just released a whole bunch of new merchandise with that logo, and then they sent it to me and Mark, and then I would style it and he would shoot it. Yeah.
You make it sound so simple, but I feel like to someone who hears that you shot Playboy streetwear, it's like, holy crap, like that's super cool.
Yeah.
And I remember I spoke to Mark. I kind of asked him about it because I think it's super cool still. And I was like, dude, how did you even like get that gig?
It was his friend.
He just knew the guy. He's just so connected in that world or whatever it is. I'm just like, bro, I got you. Here's the gig. That's cool. So what's next for you? What's on your agenda? Is it more traveling? Is it like locking in for winter and going hard on the style? What's up for
For now, like very short term, like within the next few weeks, yeah, I'm actually going to just be doing a whole bunch of getting all these ideas out that I have, like very creative shoots. Not necessarily like lookbooks or editorials, like maybe a few there, but I have a few very like more creative direction ideas that I want to do.
Okay.
And so I want to do those during the next few months.
Like it's more less fashion or more artistic?
More artistic.
Okay, so less full body fashion, more grunge.
No, more like more concept shoots.
I'm just being nosy at this point. I'm just so curious what you're thinking. Not that I'm just curious.
More like concept shoots, like more like maybe like if you think like studio and like you play with like clothes and like makeup, like kind of things like that. I have a few ideas I want to just do.
Okay, like I want to do one where a bird flying, like a grounded concept instead of you just look really cool, stand there and pose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can feel that. Yeah, that definitely gives more creative direction towards it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want to do that, and then what I'm looking at next is maybe traveling for a bit, actually. I do want to go to Bali for a few months, and then I kind of want to hop around for a bit.
Sounds chill. You say like it's so easy.
Well, it depends on if I get this other job, but yeah, basically.
Like real life job or styling job?
Like if I get just this other gig that would be like teleworking.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So you can like work and travel.
Yeah.
That sounds chill.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. So traveling, creative ideas.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and maybe sometime in between there I'll do like a little like installation that's fun for everyone.
Your line you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Can I ask what it's called?
It has no name.
No name yet?
Mm-mm.
Just designs?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just being nosy.
Yeah. It's just me like putting out things that I want to put out, but I don't necessarily always give thought to what it's going to be.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, I guess I feel like we're coming to the end here. And is there any advice you have to, I guess you might have touched it a little bit, but to maybe someone who like looks up to you as a stylist in the area, or someone who is trying to get these gigs that you may have done, or trying to build their aesthetic, or trying to build their IG and stuff like that? Do you have anything maybe say to them?
Just like reach out to people and try to offer them something in return for their services to like help you out. That's how like me and Mark started out. Like I was like, hey, I need to build my portfolio, but I'll do this like no pay, like I'll help you out no
Straight
pay.
collab.
I'm just like starting, you know. But like you never know, like when you reach out to someone, just be like, hey, can I like intern you? Can I like assist you? Like, and then you just meet people from there. You meet more and more people. Like it's all about like connecting with different people. You know, in this whole thing, we're all like just helping each other grow.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are big tips.
Yeah.
Well, sweet. Vivienne, thank you for coming on That's the Angle. It was super sweet.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I love that I can start talking to people who aren't photographers because we all coexist together.
Right.
Like it's like this ecosystem. And who knows, maybe I'll have like a makeup artist on next or
Yeah.
whoever.
Yeah.
But it's just so cool that I can do this and just kind of add some diversity to That's the Angle.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
So guys, thanks for listening. I will link her page and her website if she wants me to in the bio. And just if you're in your car driving and you're like, I want to check out this girl who travels and see her stuff, could you spell the @ on Instagram so they could like maybe go creep it right now or something?
Okay, so they shouldn't be looking while they're driving.
Come on, we all do it. We all do it. Just give it to them.
At LOKO .CHANEL.
Word. And if you ever meet her, make sure you get one of these match packs. They will save you and help you get baked sometime. All right, guys. Peace out. That's the Angle. All right, so I just gotta stop.
Cool.
It. Yeah, I think that was sweet.
That was really chill. It was like I was just hanging out with you.
Yeah, I'm not like trying to like roast you or anything.
No, I know, but it's just like